Frankie van der Veelen asks, will it eventually pay off to be an Arsenal fan? Probably not. It's bleak times at the minute. Bleak times. Yusuf Freestyle, what's one thing you'd like to see the freestyle community improve on? Better questions for Q&As? No, I'm joking. One of the things that's good about it is that everyone has their own opinion on everything. It is impossible to please everyone, but I sometimes feel like those opinions don't come across enough, and it's very rare nowadays that we get, like on Facebook and stuff, like some proper good nitty-gritty discussions going about the topics that are meaningful to us. I think people kind of tend to stray away from them. Ahmed Freestyle, worst moment in your FS life excluding injuries? Yeah, injuries probably just are the worst part of it, to be honest. Maybe the UK champs a few years back in Manchester. I didn't even get into the top 16 in that one. I was quite nervous and I really underperformed on the day. I was really gutted about that, actually. Dora Coin, your how to do asks, favourite female freestyler? Don't have one. Equality and all that. Fernando Jova asks, what is your point of view of the evolution of freestyle during all those years since you started till now? Un saludo hermano. Gracias, hombre. I mean, when I started freestyle, it was just about 9 years ago, and it's obviously come a long way since then. I just spent a lot of time just like locked away in my room watching, wait, no, hang on, that kind of makes my parents sound a bit Joseph Fritzl, sorry. I spent a lot of time just watching like videos on YouTube, because that's kind of all there was. That's where everyone kind of put all their effort into making videos for YouTube. But the biggest like development has to be the kind of the hand-in-hand relationship with social media, like Instagram and stuff. Now there's just so much of it everywhere you look. So many new ideas, so many physical limits being pushed, creative ideas being pushed, all of that's good. Especially nowadays, the younger freestylers, they see what's possible at such an earlier age that they try and fast track to these things. Not in use asks, favourite YouTube title pun? If you're referring to like the titles that I used, like often for like No Train No Gain, then you're spoilt for choice. Who can forget such classics as Return of the Mag, When Life Gives You Lemons, and It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Sitmus. Ashraf also asks, a sexual compliment you have been told in person from a freestyler who is not tonic? Hint, seriously, you know what I mean. Yeah, I know what he's getting at. Ashraf just basically wants me to tell this story. So basically what happened was we were on our way back from the Atlantic freestyle competition last year. We all got dropped off in Bristol and we had a bit of time on our hands to freestyle before we all went home and went our separate ways. And we're walking to the freestyle spot in Bristol, and Ashraf and Augusta are talking about body shape and stuff. And then I hear Aga kind of slating herself, going, oh, my legs are too big, my butt's too big. And I was like, I don't really genuinely like hearing girls like hate on themselves, like. And I step in and I'm like, whoa, hold the phone, like there's nothing wrong with your butt, like it's fine. So I carried on walking. She purposefully stops walking and like slows down 2 or 3 paces so that she's now checking out my butt. And then she just goes, no, this is good, this I like. I was like, oh, okay. We're a fan of each other's butts, apparently. And Ashraf was in absolute hysterics. Aaron Marginalist asks, best FS moment? It's a bit cliche, but your first 3 rev, you just never forget that feeling. So for me, it was Palais Around the World, and I landed it at a Manchester meet several years ago. And I managed to do 4 Palais Around the Worlds in that day, but then I didn't get one on camera for a very long time. But the initial feeling, indescribable. Jamie McDonald asks, what is your definition of a freestyler selling out, and what are your views on it? Very, very good question. I'm going to answer this question in regards to content. So I think people's content, so their videos and their uploads and everything, it should be an accurate reflection of them and what they're about, what they stand for, all these kind of things. So nowadays it's very easy, I think, if you know a person, you can tell when they are selling out. They're uploading things that they actually could not give a flying monkey shit about, but they do it because, I know why they do it, I understand why they do it, the premise is to reach a bigger audience. You know, and a lot of people will strongly argue that that is what is needed to be successful. And it's difficult because obviously you want to find that balance between being true to yourself and also, you know, reaching as many people as you can, engaging with as many people as you can, and coming up with new ideas, new innovative ideas. That's probably like the hard catalyst to it. For me, however, for my views on it, I'd want to be successful without having to compromise on anything. I'd want to be successful and I'd want to do it in my own way. If people want to sell out, then that's their choice. They may not use the term selling out if they were asked to describe it themselves, but deep down they will know if they are being true to themselves or not. Me selling out, what's me selling out gonna look like? I'm not sure. I'd be keen to try some things that aren't freestyle related, that have still got the Steve Gray feel to them, whatever the Steve Gray feel is. Caitlin Shrepfer asks, most embarrassing moment at a freestyle meet? There's probably a lot, but I'm struggling to pick one out. There was one time years and years and years ago, a freestyle meet in Birmingham, and I remember my Jabulani ball went into the road and like it stopped all kinds of cars and everything. There was like, had a big hold up, and there was me just like, sorry, just like creeping into the road carefully to get the ball. Very apologetic. That was a bit embarrassing. Thank God the ball was okay. What is your opinion on Lubaz now? Holy moly. Lubaz, I have a very, very swollen, messed up ankle as a souvenir from Lubaz, but the trip overall was great. I thought I might have been exaggerating a bit when I said that I'm expecting Lubaz to be a bit like The Road, which is basically a post-apocalyptic novel. It was bloody darn close. Strange, grey, cold place. Lubaz Freestyle Night must be the biggest thing that has happened in that town, village, whatever you want to call its history, period. Leafar Googler asks, is it hard to see people being better than you even though they started FS after you did? For example, Calvin at Lowers. No, it's not hard at all, to be honest. So point number one about that, I am and I was a very slow learner when it came to freestyle. My development was very slow, especially in comparison to freestylers today. Second point, I think a lot of people forget that like there is a life outside of freestyle, and life happens and shit happens. There's a lot of kids now who are absolutely amazing and everyone's tipping them to be the next big thing. But that's assuming that they carry on freestyling as they are now, and that is not a given at all. In terms of, is it difficult for me to take people being better? No, absolutely not. Calvin is an absolute monster and has absolutely warranted to be that good at Lowers. Kieran Charlesworth asks, what is your favourite event or place you have been to while freestyling? The cruise ships was pretty cool. So every day we kind of woke up in a new place. Some of them were nice, like places in Spain and France that were really pretty. Really did like Copenhagen for the European Championships. That has to be up there as well. Favourite event probably would have to be the halftime performance at Leicester, just for how well that went down and everything. That was unbelievable. Boody_FS asks, one thing you were passionate about studying in the university before you knew about freestyle? Well, I knew about freestyle before I went to university, so I'm gonna guess maybe by university you mean like school? I wanted to, for a while, I thought I was gonna go on to university and study languages, but I lost my patience with it. So in the end, I ended up doing the next thing which kind of interested me, which was psychology. So I studied that at uni, and then I went back to do a master's degree in sport and exercise psychology, and still might go on to do something with, but freestyle has always been ever present and it's kind of like the number one thing that I'm passionate about in my life, and no subject that I've studied in school or anything has come even remotely close to that. Alright, that's it, we're done now. Every single question I answered. Some of those were very thought-provoking. Thanks once again for your questions. Be sure to subscribe for future content and I'll see you very soon. See ya!